Hi, Sonja. Thanks for joining me today. Everyone, this is Sonja Hollingworth, and she is a recent graduate from the Symplicated Sugar-Free program. And we're here just today to chat about what her experience was like in this program and how she did with it. So, Sonja, what led you to want to become sugar-free in the first place?
So for me, to be honest, it was mostly because of weight issues that I was dealing with. So, I've never been heavy. I've been very fortunate that way in my life, but I noticed, especially once COVID hit, um, that there was a general weight gain because of the stress, right? So I noticed I was eating chips, sugar, chocolate, ice cream, you name it, I was devouring it. I noticed, a couple of months in that I wasn't able to fit into my clothes anymore. They were very uncomfortable. I had previously tried other things. I would always be unsatisfied. So I would feel hungry all the time, right? Um, so that was probably my number one thing was, just trying to lose the weight. And I had seen how successful you were. And by the time I started with the program, I was so done with packing myself into my clothes and feeling gross all the time, tired, lethargic.
So, why did you want to reach out to Symplicated for that help? Like, why didn't you just do it yourself? If you've done it before, why couldn't you do it yourself?
Well, I know I'm not successful doing it by myself. I need accountability, and I knew that I could be honest with you, and you could keep me, in check and accountable, right? I think anyone could build that trust with you very quickly because you're very open and available, and you tell us like it is, but you do it in such a kind way that I never felt judged, right? But you call us on it, right? And I needed that accountability. And I needed to try something completely different.
What parts of the program did you find helpful?
The education of understanding how this all works was a huge eye opener for me, and it doesn't allow me to lie to myself anymore. I now know the truth. So, you can't hide behind that excuse. The weekly meetings that you and I had tons of questions. You provided me with a lot of information, things that I could read up on my own so that I could, make the determination for myself as well. And you had tons of resources. And also, all those recipes that you have on Pinterest were a great start for me. I needed somebody to cheer me on, to give me a snack when I needed one or two, in a kind way.
What were some of the benefits that you noticed?
So first of all, when I'm doing well with the no sugar, I notice that I feel a lot better. So energy levels are much better, clarity in my thinking, right? That whole, bloatedness that I was experiencing, a lot of that would go away. So clothing just was way more comfortable. And so excited to basically get into clothes that I haven't worn in quite some time. I feel like I have a new wardrobe now. Didn't even have to buy a lot. Very many years ago, I had bought a dress when I was 25 years old to take on a cruise with me. And for whatever reason, I loved it and I kept it. And that's a long time ago. And I wore it when I was on a cruise and I had some really nice pictures in it. And it's, a pretty slimming dress. And not that many months ago, like I think around, I'm not sure when it was anymore, but I thought, what the heck? Let me just try this thing on and just see. I'm not expecting it's going to fit me, right? Because again, it's been a long year. I've had two kids. Things are not the same as they used to be. I tried it on and it fit beautifully. Like I was shocked. Yeah. So we haven't had an opportunity to get dressed up because of COVID, but I certainly would like to take a picture. I'm really proud of getting back into that dress. That is, a dress I wore when I was 25. Like, who would have thought?
When you told me about fitting into this red dress and what a milestone that was for you, and this moment of, I can do this, and I was rejoicing with you, because I had seen you journey so far, and put all these things into practice, and then this was one of the results for you, that meant so much.
It
Yeah.
did. Yeah. And that's
Yeah.
the other thing with Bethany that you're going to notice too is she definitely celebrates all these things with you. She's your biggest cheerleader. And yeah, it's really great because because I knew if I told Bethany about this or shared this with her, she's going to be as excited as I was. And when you can share these types of things with your coach and they are as excited as you are, it means a lot.
Mhm. Now that you've graduated from the Symplicated Sugar-Free program, what do you plan to do? Do you plan to stick with the sugar-free lifestyle? How are you going forward?
So my plan is I think that this has been an amazing journey for me. I have learned so much. I'm not perfect, and I've told Bethany this a number of times. We all kind of stray and we got to come back. But for me, I know I can do this. And even if I fall off or get, on the wrong track for a little while, I know I can pull back, and I've got the resources and the knowledge to get myself back on track.
Your primary goal was to lose weight. So you've tried other things to lose weight. What was so different about the Symplicated Sugar-Free program for you?
Biggest difference was I wasn't feeling hungry all the time. So, a lot of the other diets I would go on, they're almost like starvation diets. And also I don't have to count calories and have that's I'm so not like that. I can't be bothered to, look up how many calories on everything and then have the app that I gotta follow and type in everything I ate for the day. No, please just give me a list of the things that I should eat and some instructions around, staying away from this stuff, and make it simple. I find those other things far too complicated, and I won't stick with them. I know I won't. If it's going to cause me too much hassle, not going to happen. So super easy. Bethany sent me a list at the beginning to let me know, these are your go-to foods.
What would you want people to know who are considering taking the plunge and joining the Symplicated Sugar-Free program?
Highly recommend it. And I highly recommend it with Bethany because Bethany knows what she's doing. She's been doing this for a long time. She's been successful at it and has been successful with it for a long time. But she will also own with you that it's not easy. And, she's very honest about her journey, and she's very available. And, I never once felt that I couldn't let her know when I was struggling with something, right? Because you don't want to disappoint people, but at the same time, if you're not willing to own what you're going through, then you're not going to get through those humps. And you know what? When you make the decision, you got to go with it. You can't do it kind of half. You got to go in head first and just trust the process and trust Bethany to walk you through the steps and stages, and be patient. Be very patient with the process because it's not going to happen overnight. It will take time, but it's worth the time. It's worth the energy. You're going to feel better. And if weight gain or weight loss isn't your goal, then there's a whole other bunch of benefits that come along the way with this as well. So it's not just a weight loss program. It's much. This will be a lifelong thing for me, and it's a massive learning for me. And I appreciate the educational part of this process, and I think everyone will. It's not just a bunch of stuff that somebody's thrown together. There's a lot of thought behind this and how it works together. So really happy that I gave it a shot and invested in myself. And extremely happy that, this summer I went and bought like 3 new bathing suits, and I actually wasn't like ill trying them on. Like that's huge for me. Like, when we have to go buy bathing suits or pants, it's usually like, the last thing I want to do. But this year it was a real nice change to go out and actually feel comfortable when I'm shopping and.
Well, Sonja, it's been a pleasure coaching you, and it's been a pleasure talking to you today. Thank you so much for sharing with everyone about your experience. And and I hope that many more people join you and join us and on this sugar-free journey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks so much.
No problem. Thank you.